Hey, B Chanel here. Thanks for dropping in. I have a great story today. I probably said that last week, but last week's story was great too. All the stories I share with you, I obviously feel are great, which is why I'm sharing it. Anyway, one day I was listening to Elevation Church, and they've been doing a series, and this day they had a guest speaker. And I don't generally listen when they have guest speakers, but it was in the middle of the series, and I felt like it would be weird to just not listen to one message in the middle. So I listened, and the pastor happened to be from Oklahoma. Bonus points. That's not why I listened, though. I had already started listening when I found that out. But so he was telling us his story, his testimony. And he was a preacher's son, and he wanted to work, not wanted to, he had to work in the church. He auditioned and didn't make the cut for the praise team, and so he had to do something. He ended up being a janitor, and one night he was cleaning the church and singing the song, and somebody else heard it. So they told him that the song was amazing and the praise team should sing it. So he gave it to the praise team leader. The praise team leader loved it. So he thought that this was his moment to be on the praise team, and they did let him in the praise team, but he sang background, and he was talking about how he was a little upset about it, blah, 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 blah. Story ends well. He is a guest speaker for Elevation Church, so he did more than be on the praise team, right? He ended up having the church. It's his church now. But anyway, so I'm listening, and in the midst of me listening to the sermon, I'm like, Lord, I want to be inspired to write. And I kind of just said it and just kept on going with my day. So later that evening, I was reading, and I was reading in 1 Kings. For those of you who don't know the story of Elijah and Baal, you should go read 1 Kings 18. But he wins. That's what we need to know. He wins big. But Jezebel finds out, and she is upset, and she wants his head. So crazy enough, Elijah runs because he's afraid of her. And he goes, and he's in hiding, and he goes to this mountain. There was all this wind, so much wind that it broke the mountain, but the scripture says God's voice wasn't there. And then after the wind, there was an earthquake, but God's voice wasn't there. And after the earthquake, there was a fire, and God's voice wasn't there. But then after all that, Elijah heard a still small voice, and it was the voice of God, and then God has this conversation with Elijah. So I'm reading this, and I can't get past those few scriptures, and I kept on reading them over and over and over, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I need to write it down. So I start writing it down, and I'm like, Lord, is this a song? Y'all, let me tell you. And I wrote a song. So this is the first song that I wrote completely by myself, and it's called Still Small Voice. So I'm going to sing it for you all today.